From the temperature that dissolves the self to the awareness that has no temperature. A high fever is a useful spiritual argument. At 39 degrees Celsius, perception begins to shift. The edges of the visual field soften. Familiar rooms become slightly unrecognizable. Time begins to move at a different rate. At 40 degrees, objects may begin to move that are not moving. People who are not present may appear. The quality of certainty that normally attaches to perceptual experience, the unquestioned assumption that what you are seeing is what is there, begins to loosen. At 41 degrees, full hallucination is possible. Complex scenes, figures, voices, experiences as vivid and detailed as ordinary perception. The person in the fever knows they are in a fever and still cannot reliably distinguish the hallucination from the real. The fever is not lying to them. The fever is showing them something. What the fever reveals is that ordinary perception is also a construction. The high temperature destabilizes the neural substrate on which the perceptual model of the world is built. The model begins to generate artifacts, shapes and voices and scenes that have no correspondence to the physical environment. The person experiences this as distortion, as hallucination, as not real. But the ordinary perceptual experience is also a model, also a neural construction, also a rendering produced by the brain from sensory input, shaped by expectation, memory, attention, and the current state of the neural substrate that runs the model. The hallucination is a less accurate model. Ordinary perception is a more accurate model. Both are models. The difference is accuracy, not ontological status. You have never perceived the world directly. You have perceived your brain's model of the world. The fever shows you the seams. Reduce the fever, real, important, necessary when high enough. The model stabilizes. The artifacts cease. The ordinary construction resumes. You cannot use fever as a permanent spiritual tool without killing the practitioner. Distinguish the hallucination from the real while inside the fever. Difficult to impossible. The hallucinatory experience has the phenomenal feel of ordinary perception. The fact checker running the distinction is built on the same destabilized substrate as the hallucination. You cannot reliably use a thermometer to measure its own temperature. Wait for the fever to break. The model restabilizes. The world becomes ordinary again. You carry only a memory of the destabilized state which the now restabilized model processes as, that wasn't real. The lesson is metabolized as pathology rather than revelation. 3 exits, 3 sealed doors. In one frame, the fever, the actual temperature of the body, the immune response generating it, the inflammatory cascade that raises core temperature to create an environment hostile to pathogens. The specific quality of fever consciousness, the strange lighting, the unreliable edges, the sense that the room is not fully real. Present, the nursing home at night, the thermometer readings in the chart, the specific pathos of the fever dream. In the other frame, the model itself, the waking model and the fever model and the dream model, all neurological constructions, all renderings of input through the current state of the rendering system. The ordinary world, a stable, accurate model. The dream, a model running without sensory input. The fever, a model running on a destabilized substrate. All 3 models. The awareness in which all 3 models run, not a model. Not a construction. The ground on which all constructions are built. 2 travelers argued about which painting was real. One was detailed, accurate, hung in a museum. Everyone agreed it depicted a real place. The other was distorted, the lines unstable, color's wrong, obviously not real. The painter walked by. Both are paintings, he said. But one looks like reality, said the first traveler. Yes, said the painter. That one took longer to make and uses more sophisticated technique, but it is still a painting. The canvas does not become the landscape just because the painting is skillful. Then what is real? Asked the traveler. The painter pointed at the canvas. Not at either painting. At what both were painted on. Mandukya Upanishad. The waking state is called jagrat. The dream state is called svapna. The instruction of the Mandukya: examine what waking and dreaming have in common. Both are states of experience. Both are generated by the experiencing mind. In waking, the mind generates experience in response to sensory input. In dreaming, the mind generates experience in the absence of sensory input. Both are generated. The fever state shows you that the waking generation is conditional. Change the substrate and the generation changes. The generation was always conditional. The substrate was always shaping the output. What is the Mandukya pointing at? Turiya, the fourth, not another state. The ground of the three states, the awareness in which jagrat and svapna and the fever dream all arise. The awareness that is present in the waking, present in the dream, present in the fever, and is not changed by the temperature of the brain. The fever cannot destabilize what generates the fever. The awareness that knows the fever is happening is not running at 41 degrees. It has no temperature. It has never been feverish. It has never been well. It is prior to both. And it is what every model, accurate or distorted, is appearing in.